Live stream audio check.
Sweet. same. It's okay. I started when we were practicing. Come on. Can I have it? Yeah. Well, there is no thought with the house. My stupid. I feel like I'm gonna look like there's not enough thought with the house. I can't even see a thought from it. You know. Timmy the Dreamer is a motivational speaker that helped create one of the largest social impact movements ever created on social media. With the help of his 9 million followers, he was able to raise over $5 million to help make dreams come true for kids with cancer, disabilities, and for those who just needed a miracle. They even collaborated with some of the biggest celebrities on earth, people you might know, like Steph Curry, Mr. Beast, Oprah, MGK, and Jake Paul. He is here today to deliver his Dreamology 101 speech, where he will share with you the 5 steps that you can take to turn your dreams into reality, both here at your time in Asa Clark and for your future, and to show you about the power that kindness has to change the world. Give it up for Timmy the Dreamer.
Nailed it. Thank you. All right. Here's what we're going to do. We're going to get some energy in the room to start. Everybody stand up real quick. Can everybody stand up real quick? All right. We got 3 separate groups here, so we're going to see who's the loudest. We're going to start with group number 1 over here. All right. When I say I am a, I want you to say dreamer. I am a. I am a. I am a. Okay. Group 2. When I say I am a, I want you to say dreamer. I am a. I am a. I am a. All right, group 3. When I say I am a, I want you to say dreamer. I am a. I am a. I am a. Let's go. All right. I got to clear the air real quick. I apologize for saying Asa Clark. I now know it's Asa Clark. So Asa Clark, how are we doing today? Doing good? All right, good to be here. This piece of paper changed my life. I was 21 years old. I was still in school. I truthfully had no idea what I wanted to do with my life. But this piece of paper changed my life. This piece of paper is the reason that we built a social media movement of 9 million people. This piece of paper is the reason that we sold paintings to Oprah. This piece of paper is the reason that we collaborated with celebrities like Mr. Beast, Steph Curry, Jake Paul. Any Jake Paul haters in the room? Your hand went up way too fast. This piece of paper is the reason that we traveled all across the country, changing thousands of lives. This piece of paper, truthfully, is the reason I'm standing in front of you today. This piece of paper changed my life, and today we're going to talk about this piece of paper could change your life too. Just how it changed Richard's. Now, Richard was a homeless street artist that we met right when we got to Los Angeles. We had just finished a 5-month tour all across the country with Taylor Swift. No, I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. I'm sorry. I'm just kidding. It wasn't a music tour. It was actually a tour about kindness. We were traveling the country making dreams come true for people in need and people needing a miracle. And when we got to Los Angeles, we told ourselves, guys, we just moved to the city where people literally move to chase their biggest dreams in life. We've got to do what we called the biggest dream yet. Let's find somebody who's really struggling, really down on their luck, and help make their dream come true on the biggest level. And so we're searching far and wide for this person. I remember we're calling local nonprofits and local businesses. We're meshing the few people that we knew in LA, but we didn't know many people because I'm from the Midwest. I went to school in Wisconsin, actually. I grew up in Minnesota, so I'm not from California. We didn't know many people. We're trying to find this person that we can help. And then one day, as we're walking into a grocery store of all places, we see a homeless man sitting on a shopping cart. We said, you know what, guys, let's go talk to him. And so we said, man, what's your name and what's your dream? He said, my name's Richard, and my dream is to have my art hanging on the walls of a museum one day. He said, I'm a homeless street artist. Nobody appreciates my art, But if they could see it hanging on the walls and admire it, he said, that would be my dream. And so as we're talking to this guy, we're starting to realize this might be our guy. This might be that biggest dream yet that we want to do. So I remember this conversation like it was yesterday. We went back to the house that we were living in. It was myself, it was my brother Tyler, and it was our buddies Lank and Charlie. And Charlie walked up and he says, all right, guys, Richard wants to have his art hanging in the walls of a museum. But he said, what can we do to make this the biggest dream yet? And he said, I have one rule for this conversation. He said, no limitations. He said, I don't care if the idea sounds crazy. I don't care if we've never done it before. I don't care if it seems impossible. But what could we possibly do for Richard? And so we're standing there in this circle and we start to throw out ideas. And somebody says, all right, well, what if we build him a website? Because a homeless street artist can only build maybe or sell like maybe one piece of art a day. But a website, he can sell art to kids in Wisconsin or Iowa or Florida or New York or all across the country. Okay, what else should we do? What if we throw him this big art show in LA and all these people show up and support him in person? Okay, what else should we do? What if we get Richard on like national news and he can promote his art? Okay, what else should we do? What if we get like celebrities and influencers to buy his art and they can promote it? Okay, what else should we do? What if we get Oprah to buy a painting? Yeah, man, that's a great idea. And we're throwing out all these different ideas. And raise your hand if these ideas sound a little bit crazy for somebody we just met who's sitting on a shopping cart. A little bit crazy, right? Could we do any of this? Well, truthfully, we didn't know. But we figured there was only one way to find out. We might as well go for it. And in the next 3 weeks, this is exactly what happened. Now, we're going to have a little bit of fun here, all right? I'm going to say one line at a time. And when I say a line, I want you to respond to just one word, all right? I want you to say, Can you guys do that? Okay, yeah, we got it. Okay, we're good. All right, so here's what we did. We ended up launching Richard's website. We made prints of his art so we could ship them all across the country. And we launched the website. We ended up selling $250,000 worth of art for Richard. We even sold a we threw a sold-out art show in Beverly Hills where over 750 people showed up to support Richard. Richard's story was featured all over national news, even got over 1 billion views on social media platforms. Somebody even bought an original painting, one painting for $23,000. And the cherry on top of all this is that one of the most incredible women on earth even bought an original painting. You know who it was? No, it was my mom. Shout out to Mother Kay. Oprah Winfrey herself even bought an original painting for $5,000. I couldn't believe it. I mean, everything that we said that we wanted to do for Richard ended up happening. And I remember when this dream was over, I thought to myself, man, there were so many times in my life, when I was a student especially, when I didn't go after what I truly wanted with my life because I just didn't believe that it was possible. But at this moment, I realized that if we believe in our dreams and we actually show up and take action towards them, that everything is possible for our lives. And for you, both here in your time at ACMS and for your future, that everything is possible for your life too. When I say I am I want you to say dreamer. I am a. All right, so I know what some of you might be thinking right now. You might be thinking, dang, man, Timmy's got on a really cool pair of Crocs today. Thank you. I thought you were. No, I'm just kidding. Some of you might be thinking this. You might be thinking, all right, Timmy, it's a cool story about Oprah and the homeless street artist. But what does it have to do with the piece of paper? The piece of paper that you said changed your life, that could change our life today too. Well, to answer that question, I got to take you back to when I was in school. So picture this. Number 14, that's me right there. Picture this. You're in school. You don't know what you want to do with your life, but you have one passion, basketball. Your idols, Kobe Bryant. Your idols, Michael Jordan. Your idols, LeBron James. The problem, there's one thing that you and these guys clearly don't have in common. Pretty obvious, isn't it? They're a lot taller than you. I was only 5'8" at the time. I wish I was Kobe's height, but I wasn't. And the truth is this, is that when I was in school, this is all I cared about. I would show up every single day and I would work towards this dream of mine of being an NBA player. By the time that I got to the end of my time in school, I started to realize that this dream of mine, it wasn't going to come true. It wasn't going to happen. And truthfully, at the time, I felt like a failure. I understand now that this is in the past, but think about this. I'm sure there's people in this room. I know we're making some jokes right now, but I'm sure there's people in this room where you had a dream or a goal you had, and then you realized it wasn't going to happen. And this was the only goal I had for my life. So honestly, at this point in my life, I just kind of gave up on the idea that dreams were even possible. When I looked to my future as to what is my life going to be like after basketball, truthfully, I didn't know. Now, some of you in this room today might have a childhood dream. It might not be basketball. It might be a different sport. It might be music. It might be a club you love, an activity you love. But a lot of you might feel the same way when you think about, man, I really don't know what my life is going to look like after school. And let me tell you how I tried to figure out the answer to this question, because honestly, I felt like a failure, but I didn't want my friends or family or teachers to think that I was a failure too. And so instead of taking my time to figure out what do I really want to do next, I thought to myself, well, I better just choose something that kind of makes me look like I have it all figured out or makes it seem like I have a good plan. And for me, the fastest thing I could think of was, well, I'll just go do what my dad did. My dad was this successful business guy, so I figured if I just go follow in his footsteps, then that'll work out for me too. And so I decided to go to school right here in Wisconsin, University of Wisconsin-Madison. I joined the business school. I studied hard. I got good grades. I did all the things I thought I was supposed to do to be just like my dad. And truthfully, everybody else thought I was crushing it. Oh, Tim, man, you're doing such a good job. You're going to school in Madison. You're getting good grades. But honestly, deep down, I was really struggling. Because I still felt like, man, I really don't know if this is the path that I'm supposed to take with my life. And that pressure and that stress of feeling like a failure, still not having life figured out, it started to grow and grow and grow until one day something happened that had never happened before in my entire life. I remember I got home and I ended up sitting on my bed, put my backpack down, and my friends and I were supposed to hang out that night. As I'm sitting there, thinking about all these different thoughts about my life and all the things I'm struggling with, all the things that I'm not good at, feeling like a failure, my whole body ended up freezing. It was the first time in my life I ever had an anxiety attack. For me, it was this tightness in my chest and my stomach. For me, it was getting hard to breathe, and my phone was sitting right on my stomach. I remember it started to ring, and it was my friends, and I hit answer, and they said, Timmy, where are you at, man? We're supposed to be hanging out. What are you doing? And I said, sorry, guys, I can't make it. Something came up, and I hung up, and they had no idea what I was going through. For the next 18 months, this anxiety ended up controlling my life. For me, it was this tightness in my chest and my stomach. For me, it was not wanting to get out of bed a lot of mornings. For me, it was always feeling tired, carrying around the weight of these emotions all the time. Maybe some of you can relate in your own way to feeling anxious, to feeling like you don't know what you're doing with your life, to feeling like you don't want to get out of bed some mornings, to feeling like I'm not exactly sure what to do about the emotions that I'm feeling. And honestly, on my graduation day, a day that was supposed to be a big celebration, this is truthfully what my life looked like. It wasn't fun at the time, but I can joke about it now and say, chat, I think this is where I was officially cooked. That's me. But this was all leading up to August 15th, 2018, the day that I signed this piece of paper. It was the last day of my last ever job of me trying to be just like my dad. And I remember I was supposed to have a one-on-one meeting that day with the head of the company. His name was Dale. And I walked into Dale's office and I decided to be vulnerable. I said, Dale, I got to be real with you, man. I'm struggling. I'm struggling with my mental health and anxiety. I'm struggling trying to figure out what I really want to do with my life. And I said, honestly, Dale, I just want to find something that's exciting to me as basketball is, as meaningful to me as basketball was. And I said, Dale, you're this big successful guy, man. Multi-millionaire, founder of the business. He's got the house on the lake. I'm like, you're living the dream, man. I said, I do have some dreams I've never really told anybody before. I said, Dale, I'd love to start a business like you one day. I'd love to maybe travel the world one day. I'd love to really help people, like do something that makes a positive impact in other people's lives. I said, Dale, what advice do you have for me as I'm starting this next chapter in my life? And I remember I thought that Dale was going to give me a big inspirational, motivational, go after your dreams type speech like I guess I'm giving you today. But instead, he looked me right in the eyes and he told me 4 words I'll never forget. He said, you can't do that. I remember I thought I heard him wrong. I said, what'd you say, Dale? He said, Timmy, you can't do that. He said, you're just a student. How do you expect to start a business? You have no experience. He said, how do you expect to travel? You have no money. I said, fair. I don't have any money. He said, how do you expect to help people? It sounds like you're still learning how to help yourself. He said, I know this isn't what you want to hear. My advice to you, it's time for you to grow up and start being more realistic about what your life is really going to look like after school. That's an actual photo of Dale. I took it myself. But here I was, once again, feeling like a failure. I had the courage to share my dreams with this big, successful guy who said that they aren't possible. And so I go home that night, and you ever had one of those nights where you're just laying in bed and you can't sleep? Every night? Yeah. This was one of those nights for me, and I'm laying in bed, and as I'm laying there, I'm reliving this moment in my head over and over and over again. Dale sitting across from me saying, Timmy, you can't do that. Timmy, you can't do that. Timmy, you can't do that. Smoke coming out of his ears. And I remember it was 1 a.m., it was 2 a.m., it was 3 a.m., it was almost 4 in the morning. And finally decided to just take a deep breath where I was laying there and I went, and I remember in that moment of silence, another voice popped into my head. And it was a voice that was saying the opposite of what Dale's voice was telling me. And it said, Timmy, this guy's wrong, man. He doesn't really know you. He doesn't really know what you're capable of, the dreams that you can bring to life. And as I was laying in bed at 4 in the morning talking to myself, I remember I was getting angry. I wasn't angry at Dale, but I was actually angry at myself. Because I realized that ever since I stopped playing basketball, I just stopped dreaming. And I started my entire life based off of the expectations or opinions of others or what I thought I should do or what I thought might make me look like not a failure. But that strategy wasn't working anymore. So I decided to open my eyes and I grabbed this piece of paper. And I remember I wrote this down. I said, I don't know what my dreams really look like or even what my purpose is on this earth, but today is the day I'm committing to living the life I truly want to live and not the life others want for me. Today is the day I'm signing a lifetime contract with my dreams. And I signed it and I dated it August 15th, 2018. And I had no idea that decision would change my life forever. That decision would take me on tours all across the country, changing thousands of lives, working with some of the biggest celebrities on earth like Mr. Beast, Steph Curry, Jake Paul, and to be able to live out all of my dreams. And it all started with a decision that I made to going after my true dreams and what I truly wanted with my life. And I now say that this is the first step in all of our journeys, both in our time at school and for our future. What is the first step in achieving the dreams and goals we have for our life? It's first to just commit to going after what we truly want and have the courage to being the person that we truly want to be. When I say I am I want you to say dreamer. I am a. All right, I got a question for you guys. Because I'll be honest. After I signed that contract, I'm making it seem like this heroic thing right now. But the next morning, when I woke up, there was still a lot of problems in my life. Anybody want to guess what problems I was still facing right here in the front? Still had no money. What other problems? Red shirt? Still didn't know how to do it. What else? Never done anything like it. What? Great answer. Anything else? Black shirt? Still had the anxiety. Blue shirt? Taxes? I didn't know how to pay taxes. That's a fact. What we got? Gray sweatshirt? Yeah, I was just finishing school, right? So here's the reality of my life. I was finishing school, moving in with my parents, didn't know what to do, still struggling with anxiety, definitely didn't know how to pay taxes. So the question is this. Once we have some dream or goal, what are the steps that we actually take to then make it a reality? Like, how did I do all these amazing things from starting from this? And I'm going to break down 3 simple things for you, all right? After I committed to going after my dreams and writing them down, there was 3 things I did. The first was this. I remember I asked myself a question. I said, has there ever been another time in my life when I had no idea what was going on? I had no idea what to do, but I still showed up. I took some action and some growth happened anyways. And I thought about the first day of class. Somebody name a class that's pretty hard here at Asa Clark. Any hard class? Math? All right, who said math? Okay, all you said math. All right, that's a big group thing then. All right. Your very first day of math. You walk into the classroom, you sit down. Do you expect to have all the answers on the very first day, yes or no? Whoever said yes, you're lying. Okay, what do you have to do to learn more about math? Listen to teacher, study. You can shout it out. What do we got? Practice, learn, study, ask questions, right? You got to show up and you got to take some small action steps. Now, by the end of the year, you might not be an A+ student at math. Is it fair to say you have learned a little bit more than when you first started? Yeah, right? So I'm thinking to myself this. Maybe the problem when we're first starting to chase a dream isn't that we don't know what to do. Maybe the problem is the pressure we put on ourselves to have things all figured out before we've even really started. Maybe all we have to do is show up and take a small action step every single day and learn from everything just like a class. And so I decided for me to create this idea called Dreamology. I said, you know what? I'm going to study how to make my dreams come true by focusing on, can I take one step every day and can I learn from everything just like a class? And I even created this Word document. It's now over 300 pages. I wrote down everything I tried, everything I learned, every person I met, and every place that I've been on this journey. So step 1 is show up, take an action every day, and treat it just like a class. The second step was this. I decided to start to share my dreams with everybody. Now, in order to do this, I asked myself a question. Honestly, I said, Timmy, what is your dream? And again, I couldn't specifically answer it. Like when I was in school, I could say, oh, I want to go to the NBA. But at this point, I couldn't be that specific, but I was allowing myself to be at the first day of class, allowing myself to be a little bit more broad. I could write some things down because I knew that I wanted to help people. I knew I wanted to travel. I knew I wanted to start a business, but I also knew this. I knew I wanted to be happy because I was struggling with anxiety. I knew I wanted to find more friends because honestly, I wanted friends that truly supported the dreams and goals I had with my life. And so after I wrote these dreams down, I decided that I was going to start to share these dreams with everybody. Now, I have a question for you. Do you think I was afraid to start to share my dreams again after I shared my dreams with Dale and he said, don't do it, those aren't possible? You think I was afraid? Because it can be scary. Yeah, of course I was afraid, right? Because it can be scary, right? I think a lot of us in this room might have a dream or something inside of us that we're afraid to share with others because we think, well, what are my friends going to think? Or what are my parents going to think? Or what are my teachers going to think? And we're afraid that if we share these things and get made fun of, that we're going to lose the courage to go after what we really want. And I get it because, again, that moment with Dale was very hard for me. But I also realized this, that, you know what? The only way I'm going to find people who support my dreams and can help me achieve them are if I actually start to share them with other people. And so I was like, I'm going to just, for a second, forget about the people like Dale, and I'm only going to look for those people that support me, show up for me, and are there for me. And the first person who did just happened to be my brother. My brother came to me one day and he said, Timmy, he said, I want to start a business just like you. He said, I want to be a videographer, just like my guy CJ. Everybody say, what up, CJ? Everybody say, we'll talk to you later, CJ. So my brother wanted to be a videographer like CJ. He said, Timmy, I have an idea. He said, what if for the first time in our lives, instead of sitting down and just talking about sports or making jokes with each other, what if we sit down and for the first time in our life, we share our dreams and goals and we ask each other, how can we truly support each other? And I loved the idea, and so we did it. On a Monday night, we sat down And for an hour straight, everybody had a chance to share their dreams and goals. And it was the first time in my life when I shared my dreams that a group of people said, yes, you can, not no, you can't. And honestly, it was life-changing because that group of people taught me a very important lesson about friendship. I realized that true friends are people who are asking to support you in being the person that you want to be, not the person that they want you to be. And I realized these people in our life are very similar to what my basketball teammates used to do for me. Somebody your name, what does a good teammate do for you? What's a good teammate do for you in sports? What do we got? They give you tips. What else? They support you. What else? What's a good teammate do for you? They help you up when you fall down. What else? Green right here, or teal, or whatever it is. They cheer you on. Anybody else? What do we got? Here? Yeah. They'll always help you, right? One more back here. What do we got? Maroon. What do you say? Give kind comments, right? So a teammate, I realize, is going to show up for you both in the highs and the lows, and they're going to help you achieve the things you want to achieve. And I realize that we all need these teammates in our life. The people who are going to support us, be there for us, uplift us, and whether things are going good or bad, they're going to be in your corner. All right, I have a fun word for these people now. I now call these people your dream mates. And my question for you is, who are your dream mates? Who are the people who support you and are there for you? Because those are the kind of people you want to invest more time and effort and energy into, both in your time here at Asa Clark and your future. And the benefit of sharing your dreams is that it can do three things. It can help deepen the friendships that you already have in this school. It can also help you find new people who are going to support your dreams. For example, my buddy Ike is here today. Everybody say, hey, Ike. So Ike is from Milwaukee, and I only met Ike because I was sharing my dreams. He was sharing his dreams. And now Ike actually went on this tour all across the country with us and changing all these lives. And I only met Ike because I had the courage to share my dreams. And you'll also meet people when you share your dreams that are going to help you achieve your dreams. For example, my guy Ed in the front. Everybody say, what up, Ed? The only reason I'm here today is because I shared that I wanted to come speak at a Wisconsin school, and Ed connected me with your staff. And so when we share our dreams, all these amazing things can happen. But if we keep our dreams to ourselves, we're cutting off all these possibilities of meeting new friends and doing the things that we truly want to do. The last thing I want to share before I get to the big fun part of the story is this. The final step I made to turn my dreams into a reality, I'm going to go back up the stairs here, was this. One of the greatest decisions I ever made to turn my dreams into a reality is I decided to make my happiness a priority. Now you might say, Timmy, what does happiness have to do with chasing a dream? Well, the truth is that I was still waking up every single day with this anxiety. And I thought to myself, well, what point is it to achieve all these dreams if I'm still not happy? And truthfully, nobody knew about it because I didn't tell anybody. My friends didn't know. A lot of my family didn't know. And there's this dangerous mindset we can have when we're going through something, is to think that, well, I'm the only person who is going through this, because when we think that way, we force ourselves to carry our struggles all by ourselves. But after going all across the country, I realized this, that you know what? Whether it's mental health or physical health or a problem in school or a problem in your relationships or a problem at home, that every single human being is facing some sort of struggle. Your friends, your classmates, your teachers, your parents, myself. I'm not standing up here because my life is perfect. We're all going through something. And so I realized that even though oftentimes we're afraid to ask for help, that asking for help is one of the greatest decisions that we can make. If I didn't ask for help with my mental health, I wouldn't be standing up on stage right here. For anybody else in this room who's also facing the mental health battles like I did, I want you to know you're not alone. And for me, starting to work with a therapist, basically a school counselor, she ended up changing my life. She gave me somebody to talk to about these certain things and to help me through the hardest times of my life. And as I started to feel better, one day, something happened that would change my life forever. I was scrolling social media, and as I was living in my parents' house and I started to feel better, I decided to launch this podcast in my childhood bedroom. And no, it wasn't a big fancy podcast. All right, I had like a $20 microphone I got on Amazon. I was sitting in my childhood bedroom, and I had a sign on my door that said, "Mom, please stop talking. I'm trying to record an interview." I had no idea what I was doing, but I was showing up every single day, and I was recording these interviews. And then one day, as I was trying to figure out who to interview next, I came across this photo. And now I saw a big bus called the Dream Machine, and I saw this guy named Charlie, and he was traveling all across the country, and he was literally making dreams come true for people in need. And I remember I saw this company called Dreamer, Dreamr. It was like a social media app to connect people who had similar dreams. And when I saw this, I remember thinking to myself, man, hold on. This guy's doing all the things I said I wanted to do. He's traveling. He's helping people. He has this business and this movement. And I thought to myself, man, I got to meet this guy. And so I had an idea. Remember, I called my brother Tyler, who wanted to be the videographer. I said, Tyler, I got an idea. Charlie is going to be in Wisconsin, in Milwaukee, actually. I said, Tyler, it's a 6-hour drive from where we are in Minnesota. Let's hop in the car. Let's drive 6 hours. Let's meet him. You bring your camera. We'll take photos and videos. I said, I'll just volunteer my time and just help with whatever. I said, we got to meet this guy. We just got to meet this guy. I don't know why, but I think it's going to change our life. And so we drove 6 hours to Wisconsin. We showed up in Milwaukee. We meet Charlie, and we ended up hitting it off. We're taking photos and videos for him. We're volunteering our time. We actually didn't sleep one night. We didn't sleep because we were so excited about what we were doing for him. And by the end of the weekend, I remember he was shaking our hands, and he was saying, hey, Timmy, thanks for all the hard work you and Tyler put in. And we were saying, hey, man, good luck on your tour. He's heading to New York. And we thought that was the end of the story. Like, we're going back to Minnesota. He's going to New York, and there you go. That's it. Within 3 days later, I'm sitting at my desk, and my phone starts to ring, and it's Charlie. And I answer it, and I remember Charlie's a very animated guy, which you guys will see later, but I answered the phone, and he said, Timmy! Just like that. He said, I got an idea, bro. He said, me, you, your brother, let's go on a tour across America. Remember, I was like, what did you say? He said, me, you, your brother, let's go on a tour across America, man. I said, Charlie, what are you trying to say? He's like, Timmy, no one's ever just drove 6 hours to meet me and showed up and volunteered their time and didn't ask for anything in return. He said, those are the kind of people I want on my team. He said, what would you think about joining me on this 5-month tour across America? We're all going to do is focus on how can we help make dreams come true for other people in need. I couldn't believe it, man. Here I was being offered an opportunity to do all the things I said I wanted to do with my actual brother and one of my biggest heroes and inspirations. And so we hopped on this dream machine, and we started heading east towards New York. Now, before I tell you about the first tour across America, I can ask you a question. What do you think was on this 42-foot RV? What do you think was on the bus? There was beds, there was bathrooms, people, movies, TV, food. There was dreams. There was me. There was Ike. What do you think? What do you think was the most important thing on the dream machine? I'll be honest. It was the Febreze in the bathroom. I'm just being real. It looked like a big fancy bus. On the inside, it was like a 1970s old RV, a little bit smelly, but it got us all across the country. And the first tour across the country was very simple. I want to break it down for you. We'd find people to help who had a dream. We'd help them. Then we'd share it online. Now, raise your hand. Why do you think we shared the videos online? Any guesses? Let's go white shirt here. All right, sure, you go for it. Yeah, what do you got? So people can support. Exactly. Why else? Get people's attention. Perfect. Why else? People could donate. Exactly, right? So we had this thought to ourselves. Anybody in this room seen anything negative on social media in the last couple of days? Right? We realized that social media can be a very powerful tool for negativity. So we thought, well, can it be just as powerful of a tool for positivity, for helping people, for spreading kindness? And so we share these stories online because we realized that alone we could only do so much, but together we could change people's lives. For example, with Richard's art, we wouldn't have been able to sell $200,000+ of art if we didn't share these stories online. So for that first tour across the country, we were doing things a little bit simpler. It was things like there was a single mother who had to bike 3 miles to work every day because she didn't have a car. And so we fundraised money and we got her a new car. There was a single father named Marcus in Nashville, and his daughter was in foster care because they couldn't afford a place to live together. And so we raised money for Marcus. We got him a new apartment, and we got his daughter out of foster care. And so we're doing stuff like this for 5 months straight all across the country until we got to Los Angeles. And when we got to Los Angeles, there was 2 things that happened that took our movement to a whole other level. The first was the Dreamer House. Now, do you guys know what a content house is? Okay. So all these, if you don't know what it is, all these influencers live together and they sing and they dance and they make videos, and it's cool, but there's no real deeper meaning behind it. And so there was that company Dreamer I told you about that sponsored our tour. The founder of that company, his name was Chris. And he said, guys, I got an idea. What if we start a content house in Los Angeles, but instead of just singing and dancing, which I'm not very good at, I'll be honest, he said, you want me to sing? We'll do it later. He said, instead of just singing and dancing, he said, what if we get all these influencers and celebrities together to make dreams come true for people in need? He said, what if we start the Dreamer House? We said, man, we love that idea. That could be super powerful, getting all these people who have millions of followers together to help people in need. And so we launched the Dreamer House in Hollywood Hills, and the first dream we did in the Dreamer House was Richard. You guys remember Richard? Can I play you a video of the day that we launched Richard's website in the Dreamer House? Okay, here we go. So this video, we had built this website, and this was the launch video. And this video ended up getting hundreds of millions of views across Instagram, TikTok, and YouTube. And this video is what, you saw this video? Oh, crap. Okay, here we go. Let's go. Let's see it.
What's up, Charlie? Where you been?
You might not be homeless after today. I want to show you something.
What you got to show me, Charlie?
Get in.
I'd wait a million more.
I want you to type something. Type in Richard Hutchins Studio. This is your website.
Wow, amazing.
Nothing
Look at my name up there. Took all these years, though.
privilege to be
I think your life's going to change tonight, man.
Richard, I'm seeing. Refreshing? You had 3,800?
Another one.
Here we go. Let's see what our number is. $21,267. We just hit $51,120. Richard, we just hit $51,000.
Who else would have that face if they got $50,000? Yeah. Crazy, right? Okay, I want to play you one more video. I want to play a video from the art show that we threw for Richard in Beverly Hills. It's one of my favorite videos.
Wow, everybody's outside. Look at all these people.
You ready? You ready? All right, here we go. You ready?
Let's go.
If you are what you say you are, a superstar, then have no fear. The camera's here and the map.
Hey guys, 5 days ago I was homeless. What I didn't do, I didn't give up my dream. I didn't lose hope. My spirit wasn't broken. This night is not for me. It's for every homeless person or homeless artist that is left on the streets out there. This is for them. And I promise you, to this end, I'll pay it forward. Okay?
Can we give it up for Richard? Can we give it up for Richard? All right. I wanna call out something he said there. I think it's really important. He said 5 days ago I was homeless. But he said, what I didn't do is I didn't give up my dreams, and I didn't lose hope. My spirit wasn't broken. I think a lot of times in life when things get hard, we think that maybe we're doing the wrong thing or that things are just supposed to be easy. But I realized that, whether we're chasing a dream or not, that sometimes life can just be hard. Things come up that are unexpected that we can't even control oftentimes. And what most people do is they quit on what they want most in those tough times. But there's this word, it's called resilience. And resilience means despite things being hard, that we still show up every single day and we still go after what we really want. And I realize that if I have one regret or one thing I'm happy that I don't regret is that in my lowest moments, I didn't give up on what I truly wanted, because I would have never been able to experience some of these wildest dreams I have for my life. I've gotten to experience this. Richard has gotten to experience this. Ike's gotten to experience this. You can talk to Ike about his own battles and struggles, and now he's a world famous artist. Ed's had his own battles. We've all had our own battles that we've gone through, but it's important in those moments that we don't give up on what we really want, and that if we don't, then all of our dreams and goals for our life are possible. Can I share with you guys one more story of somebody where we worked with Kevin Hart and Mike Tyson? Okay. I want to share another story, and this is from our second tour across America. And you'll see, actually, my buddy Ike right here is in the driver's seat. And we were touring across America, and this whole second tour was called the $1 Million Road Trip. We partnered with Dreamer again, and the idea was to give away $1 million to people in need across America. And the first dream we did on this tour was a kid by the name of Matthew. And any Matthews in the room? My guy. When we met Matthew, we asked him what his dream was. And he said this: "My dream is to be able to walk." Matthew was born with cerebral palsy. The doctor said, "Matthew, you'll never be able to walk a day in your life." So Matthew's dream was just that, something that most of us take for granted every single day. But we said, "Matthew, if you could do something with your life, what do you want to do?" And he said, "I want to have an inspirational clothing brand. I want to inspire people to never give up no matter what they're going through." And so we helped Matthew launch his clothing brand. He would hand design them, and then we found people to make the clothes. It was one of the hoodies that Matthew made. And we ended up launching Matthew's website, and we ended up selling $250,000 of clothing in the first 4 hours. And in total, we sold almost $400,000 of clothing for Matthew, and even had people like Kevin Hart, Kevin Hart, and Mike Tyson wearing and supporting Matthew's clothing. And Matthew's dream came true on the biggest level. But I don't share this story because of the clothing. I share because what happened next. Because when we connected Matthew to his dream, I got to see how his energy changed, his mood changed, his motivation changed. And then one day his mom called and said, "Guys, you won't believe this." She said, "Matthew is getting up every single day and he's training to be able to walk." Now, why would you do that? Why would you train to do something that doctors said is literally impossible? But Matthew didn't care. Day after day, week after week, month after month, year after year, Matthew is getting up and he's going after his dream of being able to walk. And just the other month, we were in Los Angeles, and we sat down to have dinner with Matthew and his family, and I said, "Matthew, how you doing?" He took out his phone and he showed me a video of him for the first time in his life. I get the goosebumps every time, man. The first time in his life, he's using the handrail, but he's walking down the stairs in his own home. And when I saw that video, I thought to myself, man, that is the power of chasing a dream. Because chasing a dream isn't always about what we accomplish. It's about who we become as we pursue things that are meaningful to us. And I got to see how kids all across the country, like Matthew, when they went after their dreams, how their mental health could change, their motivation could change, their physical health could change, and how the best version of themselves came to the table. And as cool as all this stuff was across the country, from meeting these celebrities to now having this following of 9 million people for our organization and touring across the country, there was truthfully no greater joy than helping somebody else achieve their dream, because it was so amazing to see who they became when they got to experience their dream. And I'll be honest with you all. At the end of the second tour across America, we didn't achieve our goal of giving away $1 million. We actually gave away $3 million. It's crazy. And I was sitting there on New Year's Eve in the middle of nowhere, Kentucky, finishing our tour. And I had this thought. I thought to myself, wow, you know what? Oftentimes in life, we think about our dreams and goals. We think about, what can I get? Like, what's in it for me? Why should I do this thing? Because I want more things in my life. But I realized at the end of this tour that maybe the secret to living a good life isn't about what we get, but about what we give to others. Because I realized that every single day we can all get up and make somebody else's life better. And no, it doesn't need to be these big, crazy things. It can be small, simple acts of kindness. I would actually argue the small, simple acts of kindness are more important. How you treat your classmates, how you treat your friends, your parents, your teachers, how you show up right here for this community. Because I realize that when a group of people commit to showing up for each other, that you can change somebody's life who's sitting right next to you, you can change your school culture, and even one day you could change the world. And if you don't believe me when I say this, I'll tell you this. When we first started that first tour, all we were doing was actually buying cups of coffee for strangers because we didn't have much money. A small cup of coffee ended up leading to a global movement of 9 million people. It all started with this idea of one act of kindness at a time. And I now say this, that we can all, when we come to school every single day, you can all either be a Dale or a dreamer in somebody else's life. A Dale is the person that tears others down, that makes others feel small so we feel big, that says mean things to each other. But a dreamer is somebody who lifts each other up, who shows up for each other, who's there for each other, who realizes the power of your words and your actions to make a difference. And when I came here today, I thought to myself, man, you guys are having this kindness week, which is so amazing. Because I think that kindness has the power to change the world, but I also want to challenge you to this, that kindness isn't just a week, it's a lifestyle. Kindness is a choice that you can make every single day when you come to school and for the rest of your life, that, hey, by me coming here today, I have the power to change somebody's life who's sitting next to me in the classroom, in the hallways, at lunch, or right here in this auditorium. And if there's one takeaway I want you to take from today, it's that. The power that you truly have to make a difference in the people's life who's sitting right next to you. And if you focus on giving to others in a weird way, all of your own dreams end up coming true in the process. And if you don't believe me when I say that, well, then maybe you'll believe the great American philosopher, Sabrina Carpenter. I'm just sharing a Sabrina quote. She said this, and I love this quote. She said, the best way to find yourself is to lose yourself in the service of others. What does that mean? It means if you don't know what you want to do with your life, you don't know what your dreams or your goals are, you just simply start by, how can I show up every single day and help other people? Because when I do that, I'm going to find my own answers along the way. Now, to finish this story, I want to share this. I'm not going to lie to you. After that second tour across America, I thought I finally did it. I was like, I finally figured out life. I'm finally good. It's going to be all smooth sailing from here. But then one day after that second tour across America, I was sitting at a Starbucks on Sunset Boulevard in West Hollywood, being a kid from the Midwest. This was like one of the most magical streets in America. It felt like a movie. Life was good. I'm sitting there and my phone rings again, and it's Charlie. And I answered. At this point, Charlie and I were friends, so I was like, Charlie, what's up, man? It's going to be a good day, bro. And I'll never forget the tone in his voice. He said, hey, Timmy. I said, yo, man, are you good? Like, something up? He said, you hear about Chris? As a reminder, Chris was the founder of that company, Dreamer. So the company that sponsored our tours and the Dreamer House. And at this point, he was one of our best friends. I said, no, man, what happened to Chris? You're freaking me out. Like, break his leg or a bad business deal? I'm like, what? Like, what happened? He said, Timmy, he's dead. I remember I couldn't believe it, man. I was like, what do you mean he's dead? I just talked to him yesterday. 33 years old, wife, 6-year-old kid. He died of an asthma attack in his own front lawn. Nobody was around to help him. Anybody here ever lost somebody that you love? So you know it's one of the hardest feelings that there is. And on top of losing one of our friends, most people didn't realize this, but Chris and I actually met every single week, every single Tuesday morning at 11 a.m. for 4 years straight. And we would talk about these dreams that we had together. We talk about going to schools across the country and building these dreamer labs to give kids resources to chase their dreams. We talk about speaking on stages together in front of students. It's why I wear this necklace for every speech. It's Chris's company's logo. So I know he's right here with me. But when Chris died, I felt like I didn't just lose a best friend. I felt like those dreams also died with him. And even though we were still doing some really cool things that a lot of you asked me about as I walked in here, about, hey, did you get to meet Steph Curry or Mr. Beast or Jake Paul? Yeah, truthfully, after Chris died, all these amazing moments were happening. Like, we got to help a kid named Ariel who had been paralyzed go to the NBA Finals and sit courtside and watch Steph Curry beat the Boston Celtics to win the finals. We got to do things like, there was a girl named Michaela who was battling homelessness, and her favorite musician was MGK, and so we got to take her to MGK's concert, and we got to raise money for her and help her and her mom get off the streets. We got to work with Mr. Beast. He gave us $10,000 to launch a fashion show for a girl named Livy who was battling cancer. You would think that these would be the coolest moments of my life. But if I'm being honest with you, I was miserable. I was missing my friend Chris, and I didn't know what to do about it. And then one day, for the second time in my life, I ended up having another anxiety attack. I was laying there again, and once again, I didn't really know what to do. But the only difference this time was this, is that I now had the tools to deal with my anxiety. Because I had still been meeting with my therapist. Her name was Jess this whole time. And I realized this, that when things are going good in our life, we often think, oh, I don't need to have somebody to talk to, or I don't need to have these different resources for myself. But the truth is, when things get bad, that's when we need these tools that we can rely on, these people that we can go to. And so I went to Jess and I said, hey, Jess, what do you think I should do? I'm feeling this way again. She said, Timmy, I think you have to go have a conversation with Charlie. And so I did. I went to talk to Charlie and I said, hey, man, is there any way that we can maybe take some time off? Because I want to go see my friends and family back in Minnesota and Wisconsin. I said, we just lost one of our best friends. At the time, my grandpa had brain cancer. And I was like, dude, I don't want to lose somebody else and feel like I didn't get to be there for their last days. And I also said, is there any way that we can maybe start working with students across the country? Because I really feel called to giving back to students and helping them achieve their dreams. And I remember, unfortunately, Charlie said this. He said, Timmy, I hear you, and I want to be able to do these things. But the truth is that we don't really have time to take time off. We have another 6 months of things lined up, all like this. He's like, I can't have you just go home. It's like, I kind of need you to help me. And he also said this in terms of the going to schools and working with students. He said, to be honest, man, I know that was you and Chris's dreams, but it's not my dream. So you have to decide what you want to do. And he was right. I had to go back and say, okay, in this moment, what do I care about most? Because truthfully, leaving working with Charlie, I heard walking in, you guys all asked about the followers and this and that. And leaving working with Charlie meant walking away from the 9 million follower organization. It meant walking away from living in the big fancy home in LA. It meant walking away from all these celebrities that we were working with. It meant walking away from all of that. But I realized this, you know what? Cooler than having 1 million followers is having a good relationship with your friends and family. Cooler than living in a big home in Los Angeles is feeling a sense of peace and happiness with who you are. Cooler than working with celebrities is getting to show up every single day and love what you do and be able to make a positive impact on the people around you. And so I thought, you know what? All this stuff has been amazing, but I know what I truly want my life to look like going forward. And honestly, the best things in our life aren't the big fancy things. It's the simple things like our relationships, our friendships, our health, our happiness, and our ability to make a difference in the people around us. And so I walked away. And for the first time in my life, as a chapter of my life came to an end, it didn't feel like a failure. Because I realized this, you know what? Maybe our lives are just like a book. And this book is going to have different chapters. But each chapter is going to be there for a purpose and a reason. Your time right here at Asa Clark is here for a purpose and a reason to teach you things, to build useful skills, to build amazing relationships, to help you learn what you do and don't like, to help you become the person that you're supposed to be. So I realized that there is no failure in a chapter in our life. It's all just steps of our journey, chapters of our story. For me, I look back on my journey and I said, well, maybe basketball wasn't a failure, right? Because I got to do something I love for 18 years. Maybe my time at Madison wasn't a failure because I got to learn what I do and don't want. My time living at home with my parents wasn't a failure because I got to spend 1.5 years with my parents, probably the best, most quality time I've ever spent with my family outside of my time as a student. And I got to learn all these things that have taken me right in front of you here today. So each chapter is really all that matters. And I realize this, you know what, for you guys here, I can't tell you to look 10 years ahead and say, what is your life going to look like 10 years from now? It's a hard question to answer. But what I can ask you is this: can you show up and be all in for your time here at Asa Clark? And actually, to break it down even smaller, can you be all in for Kindness Week? Like, what does it look like this week for you to show up and make a positive impact in the people's lives who are sitting next to you? What does it look like to show up this week and to give it your all, your best effort? What does it look like for you to show up and make the best friendships you can possibly make? What does it look like to show up and give the best effort in the classroom, in the clubs you're involved in, the sports you're involved in? Because if you focus on today and showing up and giving your all today, I promise you, tomorrow's going to work itself out 100% of the time. And like I said at the beginning, in this weird way, when we focus on showing up for others, that a lot of our dreams come true at the same time. And listen, I'm not standing up here today asking you guys to do something I'm not willing to do myself, because I'm now in this new chapter of my life where me and CJ are going to schools all across the country, and I'm living out this dream that Chris and I talked about of speaking to students across the country about chasing their dreams. And I'm using these same lessons that we talked about in this speech, these lessons that I want you guys to take away from this speech today. And it's, how can we achieve our dreams and goals in life, no matter what age we are? We first have to simply write our dreams down. We second have to share our dreams with others, because we can't find those people unless we share our dreams. We third have to take an action every single day to treat it just like a class. We fourth have to prioritize our happiness, because there's no point in us getting all the things that we want if we're not happy. And finally is that the secret of living is giving. The most important thing that we can do today is that if we show up and we commit to helping other people, that is how we can find true happiness and success in our life. And before we finish this thing, I want to share one final slide here. I'm going to jump back up. I want to share one final thing. If you walk out of this auditorium today and you forget all the things we talked about here today, I want you to remember just this one thing. And it's that, unfortunately, most people don't get to experience their dreams in life. It's not a very motivational closing message, is it? But most people don't. And we know this because there was a study done on the number one regret of people who are about to lose their life, terminally ill people. And they asked these people, they said, when you look back on your life, what do you regret most? You know what's crazy is that 76% of people, 3 out of 4 people, said the exact same thing. They said, I wish I had the courage to live a life true to myself and not the life that others wanted for me. I wish I had the courage to live a life true to myself and not the life that others wanted for me. If I had one goal today, one goal at all, is that nobody in this room ends up a part of that statistic. Nobody gets to the end of life and is like, dang, I didn't even try. I didn't even try to go after what I really wanted. You're going to be afraid. You're going to be scared. My challenge for you is to have the courage to do it anyways. And where do we start this journey? For me, it all started with this piece of paper. A piece of paper that was a commitment that I made to going after the things that I really wanted. A piece of paper, like I said, changed my life. And today, if you wanted to, a piece of paper that I believe could change your life too. Because we actually brought you all your very own Dreamer contracts here today. And before we give them to you, we're going to do something real quick, all right? Can everybody just stand up real quick? Can we stand up real quick? We're going to do, feel free to stretch it out a little bit. Stretch it out a little bit. There we go. Okay, here's what I want to do. Real quick. It's going to seem a little bit goofy, but trust the process here. All right. Real quick. For a second, I know it's going to seem a little bit funny, but can everybody just close their eyes for a second? Nothing weird is going to happen. I can see if your eyes are open. Can everybody just close their eyes real quick? Now, here's what we're going to do. I've been yapping for a long time up here, so I want to give you a second to ask yourself the question, what is my true dream? And I'm going to give you about 45 seconds, and I want you to think about your time here at Asa Clark. Before you go to the future, I want you to think about, what dreams or goals do I have for my time here at this school? It might be how you want to show up in the classroom. It might be the impact that you want to make on your friends' lives. It might be the sports you want to play, the clubs you want to join. But I want to give you about 45 seconds to think about, what dreams or goals do I have for my time right here at this school? All right, now I'm going to have you go to the future real quick. All right, we're going to have some fun with this. All right, it doesn't have to be this perfect image, but real quick, 60 more seconds. When you think about your future, I want you to have a little fun real quick. What kind of dreams or goals do you see for your future? It might be the things you might want to do. It might be the thing you might want to do for work. It might be you want to travel somewhere. You want to start a family. You want to have a dog. You want to go skydiving one day. But I'm going to give you about 45 seconds to think about what dreams or goals do I have for my future? And then we'll go to the next part. All right, so just 45 more seconds thinking about what dreams or goals do I have for my future. Hold on, guys. Hold on. We're keeping it silent for just 45 more seconds. All right? Okay, here's what we're going to do. We can sit back down real quick. And your teachers are going to pass out these dreamer contracts to you. You'll see on the left side it says dreams for school. On the right side it says dreams for future. I want you to write down anything that came up for you as you were thinking about those dreams and goals. And then also when you get it, you'll see on the back. On the back it says, for Kindness Week, here's the acts of kindness that I want to commit to doing this week as well. So remember, it always starts with the things that we're doing for others. So on the back, I want you to write down those acts of kindness that you want to do this week for your classmates and your friends and your teachers. I'll be coming around to help. Let's see, you guys are coming here? Huh? At the end? Are you going to sing too? What's up? Are you going to sing? We'll do a duet. We'll do a duet if you sing with me. You won't sing? Okay. Papers coming? From Rapunzel, I Have a Dream? Oh, man. You're going to sing? No. Oh, what? What's up? Okay, you get a pencil? You got one? Okay, so again, on the left side, it says dreams for school. The right side, it says dreams for future. Then on the back, it says, for Kindness Week, here are the acts of kindness I want to commit to doing. So remember, it's all about not just ourselves, but how can we show up and help other people. This week is all about how can we show kindness to each other. So I want you to write down those acts of kindness that you want to do for your classmates too. Yeah. My voice is. I can be the hype man to the singer. You want to sing too? She said she can sing too. Who's our background dancers? We need some background. We need some background dancers. Who's the back? Got like beans? I'm indifferent about beans. They're average. Why are you asking? Okay, everybody have, okay, I'll come around in a sec. Unless you guys write for a second. Everybody have a paper? Everybody have a pencil, paper? You got a pencil, paper? Okay. All right, take a few minutes and just write it down, and then we'll have a chance to talk for a sec, all right? This girl is on fire. Huh? No, it's okay. It's like I'm not a terrible singer, but not the world's best. All right, just take 2 more minutes and write down everything. We're going to go to the last step here, all right? All right, did you fall? I'll fall back. Send me a message and I'll call you back, yeah? I think it's on the back. Yeah, it's right there. It's right there. All right, take 60 more seconds and just finish writing down whatever came up for you. What's up?
Do you still talk to him?
So our whole team, so me and I left, we all kind of split up. He kind of like changed what he was doing a bit too. So it kind of all like ended up sort of going that direction. So me and him aren't super close right now, to be honest. I mean, that split up is kind of a breakup. Like it wasn't, like emotional. So I'm sure one day we'll talk again, but right now we don't want to talk. I wrote him a letter.
I dare you to text him.
Huh?
You still have his number?
Yeah.
I dare you to text him.
I wrote him a letter.
What'd you say?
Kind of like
What
the ending of our ending wasn't like super pretty. He also said some mean things that I don't share on stage, but like things that were pretty hurtful to me. So I wrote him a letter just kind of explaining why I didn't talk to him for like a year. I just told him, hey man, I wish you the best. Like I forgive you. I hope you forgive me. Like, and then that was that. Yeah, I'll sign it. Okay, real quick. The next part of this is this. We're going through these steps right now of writing our dreams down, and now I want to have a quick chance to I want you to turn to the person, not yet, but I want you to turn to the person next to you, and I want you to each share a dream that you wrote down, both for school and future, and also an act of kindness that you want to commit to for this week. Take a couple minutes and just share something with someone right next to you. All right, what do we got? You ready? What do we got? I love that. I love that. Would you like to act of kindness with you on the back? Would you? I love that. I love that. That's amazing. What's your name? Nice to meet you. Thanks for sharing. Of course. You want to share something with me? Yeah, or both. Let's do it. What do we got? John, nice to meet you, bro. Appreciate you sharing, man. I want to share a dream. What do we got? What do we got? I love that. Why do you want to do that? I love that. What's your name? Nice to meet you, Scarlett. Thanks for sharing. You want to share? So cool. That's so cool. That's awesome. What's your name? Nice to meet you, Victoria. All right, you're up. Come on. What do we got? What do we got? What? Shooting guard, point guard, small. Okay. Cool. Nice to meet you guys. I want to share one. What do we got? What do we got? Let's hear it. Yeah. I love that. What's your name? Nice to meet you, Ashley. What do we got? What do we got here? Nice to meet you. I love both of your dreams. It's amazing. Appreciate it. Thanks for sharing. All right, what do we got? What do we got here? I love that. What's your name? What's your name? Nice to meet you. What you guys like? I love that. What's your name? Nice to meet you. What about you? What do you like? That's awesome. I love that. What's your name? Nice to meet you. All right, what do we got here? All right, last thing we're doing. Hold on. Last thing we're doing. I'm doing my final jump up here. I'm working. Okay, all right. I want to see who has the most courage in the room. You don't even know what I'm going to ask. Who wants to come up and share a dream with the whole group? Who should I pick? Ed, you got to come. Who should I pick? Who do we got? Listen. Red shirt? All right, red shirt. Let's go, red shirt. Let's do it. Okay, here's what we're going to do. Yeah. Stairs. Okay, all right. Okay, so here's what we're doing. Ready? Okay, so we're kicking off kindness week, right? So we got a chance right here to show a ton of support to one of our classmates. So when Irene shares her dream, I want you guys to celebrate like somebody just scored a game-winning touchdown, all right? I want like full support. Can we do that? Okay, all right. Okay. All right, you want to share your name and a dream?
My name's Irene. I'm in 8th grade. And my dream is to become a comedian.
Okay, what's the act of kindness you want to do this week?
This week, I'm going to try and improve myself and other people around me by showing kindness in small ways, like holding the door open. I want to help people by encouraging them and talking to them, practically giving therapy, and stuff like that. I just want to help them.
Irene, thanks for sharing. Okay, who's next? Who else do we got? Let's go. Okay, uh-oh. Okay, is he hiding? Let's go right here. Let's go right here. Let's do it. Let's do it. Let's go right here. Okay. All right. Okay. That last celebration was good, but I don't know. I think we got a little bit more in us, so we'll see what we got this time. All right, here we go. Okay, you want to share your name and your dream? And then we'll celebrate, and then we'll have you share a kindness act, all right? All right, here we go.
Hi guys, my name is Gabe. My dream is I want to be a political activist when I grow up. I'm actually working on it right now.
Yeah, let's go.
And one thing I'm gonna try to do to show kindness this week, I'm gonna try to give Bible verses to my friends and just talk about God overall.
Appreciate it, bro. Appreciate it. Okay. Aaron, who should I pick? Who should I pick? Who should I pick? Who do we got? 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 OC? Who's OC? OC? No, he doesn't want to do it. Okay. The red lane. All right, let's do it right here. Red lane. Okay, here we go. Yeah. Okay. I gotta be honest. I'm a little disappointed. If somebody scored a game-winning touchdown, nobody's butts would be in the bleachers. That's all I'm saying. We might have a standing ovation for round 3 here, all right? Okay, you ready? What's your name and your dream?
My name is Lucy, and I actually have 2 dreams. My first one is to make a successful animated series. And my second dream is to become a musician. My dreams are to help everyone out and I want to make people happy, and acts of kindness I will do this week is giving my friends some of my food if they're hungry, especially you, Erica. Hi!
Thanks for sharing. Yeah, what's up? All right, we got time for one more. Final one. Let's go right here. Right here. Grace, yeah, you, let's go. All right, last one. Should I try the? Okay. All right, last one. Here's what we're going to do. Okay. We're going to do a little fun on this one, all right? So before she starts, We're gonna do a drum roll. So we're gonna do a, and then when I go like this, all right. When I go like this, we'll stop, and then she'll share the dream, and then we'll celebrate. All right. Okay. Okay. So we'll get. I'll give the cue. Wait a sec. Ready? You wanna hold it?
Wait, what I do?
When I stop them, then you're gonna share. All right. Ready?
Oh yeah. Okay. My name is Skylar. I want to be a plastic surgeon.
What's the act of kindness you want to do for the week?
For the act of kindness, I want to be nice to my friends because I'm already really nice, if you can't tell. Oh, hold on. I will be nice to Jenny. We love Jenny.
Thanks for sharing. Okay, guys. I know you guys all have to go here in a sec. So, couple things on the way out. Can we give a big round of applause to the teachers and the staff in the room? Big round of applause to the teachers and the staff. All right. Can I get 60 seconds of silence here? Final 60 seconds. There's a final 60 seconds here. Okay. I wanted to give a shout out to your teachers because this kindness week is so awesome. I wish I would have had something like this in school. And I want you to know that every teacher in this room has committed their life to helping you find success and happiness. So don't forget to be grateful for them, to do acts of kindness for your teachers this week, and to show them how much you care about all the work they're doing for you. Last thing is, on the piece of paper, you'll see my Instagram and TikToks on there. If you want to send me your dreams, ask me any questions. I'm truthfully here to support you on your journey. And for one person who sends me their dreams, I'm going to send you a free dreamer hat in the mail, all right? So there's a little reward to sharing a dream. I'll send you a free hat in the mail to one person. And on the way out, I'm going to be standing. Where should I stand? Should I go stand somewhere in the stairs? Okay. Okay. Okay.
And they can maybe meet you like outside.
Okay. Okay. Your principal will dismiss you. Should have you grab all your stuff. I'll be standing outside by the stairs. So on your way out of school, if you want to talk, take photos, want me to sign your contract, ask any questions, I'll be standing outside, all right? Nice to meet you guys. Oh, wait, hold on. Okay, hold on. You guys want to do a quick video? Okay. So we have a competition. I think you guys honestly have potential here because every state we go to, we're seeing who the most hype state is. So here's what we're going to do. I'm going to have the camera facing towards me, and I'll be like, I'm with 700 kids here today in Wisconsin, and they want to say hi to you. And I'm going to turn the camera, and I want you guys just to go crazy, all right? Can we do that? All right. Okay. All right. Here we go. Okay. All right, you ready? All right. Okay. All right, I'm with 700 students today here in Wisconsin, and they want to say hi to you. Okay. Appreciate you guys. All right, here we go.
All right, Asa, let's give 2 claps for Timmy. That's a little bit more, but that's okay. Here's what I need you to do. Listen closely. Step 1, pass all your papers to this end of your row. That way your teachers are able to pick them up. Pass all your papers to this end of the row. Step 2, listen closely. I will dismiss. You are going to go straight to your locker and get your things. Shh, hold on, no one is leaving quite yet. Gentlemen and ladies and pirates around. Shh, thank you. Okay, In a moment, I will dismiss a section. Again, you can head straight to your locker to get your things. As Timmy mentioned, he will be outside of Asa Clark. You can say hi to him before you leave, but do not miss your bus. Okay? All right, so we are going to start with Mrs. Karras, Mrs. Clark, and Mrs. Tweeg. Spread kindness all around, including the hallways on the ways back. Mrs. Krogman, Mrs. Parfetto, Mrs. Jusela. Walk all the way back to the building, please. Mr.